Hello, good morning everyone. So, how many of you work as a computer scientist? Raise your hand, very confidently, great. How many of you work in IT? Great. And how many of you want to actually work in IT? And how many of you have never thought about it? Great, you're on the right stage. I want to actually spend a few minutes on two things. The first is why we should work in IT, and the second one is how to get there. So, first, let's start with why. Actually, the technology is changing the entire world around us. The way we work, the way we communicate with each other. In some countries, not in the Czech Republic, how we communicate with government. Also, how we shop, how we pay for services and products, how we actually read, etc. And enable to actually function in future world, you probably might need to be part of it. Part of creation of this world. And you probably, well, there was such a cool video, just Google it. It's called Evolution of the Internet, and it's pretty cool. And the next slide, it actually says how the entire desk it's gonna change, and it actually change all into applications, and basically one computer and one smartphone, and that's pretty much it. And, we are going to expect more changes in the future. And you probably, next one, please. We arranged that, the choreography. You probably don't want to miss the boat on that one, Well, maybe another reason why you want to be part of IT is because you want to save the planet, save our Earth, or save lives. Who knows Gina from Brno? Gina is actually a startup. It's a software that helps navigate emergency units throughout a difficult terrain. And it helped some units in a Haiti crisis also. So you might actually help change people's lives, actually save them. Or today, if you want to really change lives, today, robotic surgeons are more accurate with surgeries, but also predicting someone's diagnosis than humans. Or you might want to be excited about creating lives. Actually, 3D printed sperm bots, little nanorobots, can help fix the speed of the sperm so you can save the infertility with the IT. Or you might actually want to become part of IT because you want to create something that everybody in the world will use. Or you just want to be in IT because you want to be rich. Or you might want to be in IT because you want to play your entire world. That's okay. It was the picture of kids playing with toys. The next one, you won't actually be part of IT because you simply would need to. You might actually acquire IT skills because they claim that about 80% of the jobs will change in future. A lot of them will disappear. Some of them will be automated by robots. So you might actually want to learn a little bit of IT because without it, you might be a little bit lost. So now, when we know that we need to actually think about IT, so let's start talking about how. I actually asked this question in my social network. I raised the question about the background of some IT specialists on my Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn. Maybe some of you might be surprised because one would say that in order to work in IT, you need to have a college diploma. But actually, only 44% of people I asked answered that they studied computer science. Just a little bit about the data set. It was about 140 people, half men, half women, 3 did not claim the gender, and this is what I received. So it actually gives us more than half of people. It's not quite a representative population, of course, but it might actually give you an idea that more than half of people actually learn IT somewhere else. So first, I want to start with those who chose to study IT just right after high school. Some people think, it is quite a stereotype in Czech Republic or maybe in the world, that some people who work outside of IT think that you need to love math in order to study IT. It actually might be a good chance, but also there is a slightly good chance you might end up in IT if you just play computer games, or because everybody else with your friends go to IT. Or maybe there's a good teacher who motivates you, or someone from your relatives work as an IT specialist. So it's basically a very common career choice for you. So if there is any parent sitting here in the audience, I would recommend letting children playing computer games or some educational games actually on a computer. Next, to the question how the others got into IT. So, the very first one, the most commonly answered, was they learn from free online tutorials. There is actually tons of available resources out there. And they are for free. So you basically just pick one thing and you can learn it for free from your sofa, back at home, or during work hours, whatever, but during weekend. But it's free and it's out there, it's online. Next one, some people use this let's try and see what happens approach. It's actually working. You probably acquire this knowledge because you work on a real-life project. So whether you are actually creating your very first wedding site, maybe the last one, only wedding site, or you are actually creating your mobile application or whatever, just try it and learn it on a go. Or you can actually join some common open source projects and just work with everyone else, from the entire world, following on GitHub. Next one, another way how people learn IT is because they attended some online courses. You probably know Coursera. There is tons of others like Udemy or edX, and they are paid courses from top universities from around the world. And from time to time, they actually announce the scholarships. So I would recommend following that one. And about the same percentage of people attending offline courses. I would recommend Czechitas. It's a pretty cool company. But actually, it's proven that if you work with someone else, if you have a partner, if you have some peers who motivates you, you have a slightly better chance to finish the course than when you studied it online during work hours or free time on a weekend. Actually, there is a stat from Coursera, those massive open online courses, they have just 8% success ratio when finishing them. So I would really, really recommend to go to attend an offline course. You get homework, you can ask questions wherever you want, and you have also your friends that has actually the same background. Another way how to get to IT is to attend a conference. and workshops on those conferences. Right now, there is actually a workshop from our Michal, introducing very first steps in IT. So just make sure you're going to attend some of the workshops here on Women in Tech. You basically started your IT career today. So, and just go to every other conference that is organized here in Brno or Prague. The next one is having your own mentor. Some of the people would actually benefit from one-on-one learning, but also having a boyfriend who codes, who is programmer. I would actually go and ask him, to teach me how to code. So having a partner is very benefiting when you want to study in IT. The next one is also attending in-house company workshops and program. A lot of companies already started their own coding academies and trainee programs that are, the another stated response in my questionnaire last week. So do a trainee programs. And actually, those people who answered the questionnaire last week, they also follow up the question, how long does it take to completely change your career? If you are working full-time and do your self-study, attend a course or online course, conferences during Saturdays, etc., on average, it actually takes less than a year to completely change your career. Whether you studied a social science, whether you own a diploma from economics, etc., in a year of consistent work, you might end up in IT. That's pretty positive. You are not lost if you are 30, so you can still actually be in IT and do a career change. One thing you should do is to pick one thing you are going to study. Whether it's mobile application, or maybe you are excited about test analysis, so penetration testing, or you might actually do some web development, or data analytics, that is a pretty exciting field too. Just pick one and study hard. Ask a lot of questions. Very questions. Actually, you can follow up on some groups. There are a lot of communities around every single one of the programming language that is actually, here in Czech Republic used. So if you like Python, you can actually go to Pivo or PyLadies. If you like JavaScript, there are JavaScript communities, etc. So go there and ask a lot of questions. And the very last one is do not give up. It actually takes less than a year, but it still takes that year, and it's gonna be really hard. It's not gonna be working day one. It has gonna be a lot of bugs you need to actually solve. There are gonna be a lot of maybe sleepless nights, but suddenly, it starts working. Sometimes you don't know why, but it actually starts at the end. So just pick one thing, study hard, ask a lot of questions, do not give up, and start your career today. And you already did. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that everybody here in the room will answer the question that who works in IT today. So who think that he's gonna actually, or she is gonna go to IT? Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you, Dita. Thank you so much. 2 questions. Thank you. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for using the app. We have several questions here for you, Dita. If you did not work in Czechitas, what would you be?
This is a really hard question. Czechitas is a really cool company, though. So, if I would not work in Czechitas, I would probably start some other business. I think working in Google and those companies that I really love for company culture and the products and innovations, I really love. But also what is more is having your own startup. I think your own project. Really, seeing your ideas coming live, it's probably number one thing that would benefit actually everyone and me definitely. So it would be some other thing. It would be definitely in technology and in education, but we will see.
Awesome. Sounds good. The next question is from someone else, but follows up very well. It's from Natalia, who asks, how do you never give up on your project? I understand it as how do you never give up in general, right?
Well, this is another entire lecture, I think, or workshop. Well, I think if you have long-term goals, you never give up on short mistakes, or if you know that you really want to be in IT, for example, so you don't give up when it does not work right now. So it's just, this long-term motivation you need to have. So have a dream boards, or maybe what actually helps me is having accountable partner. So if I say someone that I'm gonna do something, so for example, I'm gonna develop this mobile application, I wouldn't ever fall asleep, knowing that I failed, in front of these people. So I told that I'm gonna do this mobile application. So having accountable partner, or just announcing it on a social network or whatever to your friends, to your boyfriends and girlfriends, just tell them you are gonna do something, and it really helps me,
Okay.
So
nice. And I guess loving what you do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you like what you do, you are pretty much set for your life. So
you'll work those sleepless nights.
Yeah,
effortlessly.
of course, you don't mind.
Yeah.
Of course.
Cool. Do we have time for one more question? Yeah, sure. Okay, well, let's do it. We have a question here from Viera, who is asking, do you think you need to have IT brain cells to get into IT, or can anyone just do it, but it'll take them a different amount of time?
IT brain cells. I mean, I think they never, they didn't discover those.
No?
Well, I think there are few competencies or few things you need to have. The first is you need to have a passion for problem solving. I think it's more like you want to, just solve something, and it's not a skill, it's not a brain cell or something. It's just the passion for problem solving and getting things done. And next, probably analytical and logical thinking. And it's not a math, it's not IT. It's just the thing. I mean, you are gonna learn when you are little. Just analytical and logical thinking when it comes to problem solving. And next, I think just persistence. I mean, this is pretty much it, and there is nothing like IT cell, So if you like solving problems, you are good for IT, I think.
Cool, awesome. And I'll choose one last question here, one from Martina. Similar probably to the one we just had, but is there a minimal amount of programming languages that you need to know for a job? I guess it very much depends on the job,
yeah,
right?
it really does. In case you want to really become a coder or programmer, because there are actually tons of other positions that you can do when you are in IT. But let's say we are talking about programming and coding, I would recommend starting with Python or JavaScript as two probably not the easiest, but good languages, for a start. You need to just have enough knowledge to create something, that it's like, visible, or, it's, for example, if you are about to become a coder, I think it's good if you can actually create a web application, with a JavaScript, HTML, maybe do responsive web design, and it's pretty much it to get the job. In Czech Republic, you can actually even need to know less than that. So, because we really desperately need IT people here in Czech Republic. So whoever has a willingness to learn and study hard and has some little bit of analytical thinking, so you're pretty much good to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dita. As I mentioned, we will see you back here after lunch with the panel discussion. Ladies, thank you, and gentlemen, thank you for your questions. We'll take a tiny little break, and we'll be back with a panel discussion with you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Dita.
Thank you.